So a couple of weeks ago, I had something happen that maybe you could consider to be an incident. Not sure if I would really go that far as to call it an incident, but I had gone to see the new Hunger Games movie. The Hunger Games, what was it called? A Song of Serpents and of Songbirds and Snakes, or something like that. It's the one that Rachel Zegler's in. Yeah, that's right. I name dropped Rachel Zegler, but no, I am not going to sit here and talk at length about how awful I think she is or isn't. Enough people have talked about that. No, I'm actually going to talk about something that happened to me when I went and saw this movie, and this is kind of a bit of a pet peeve of mine, and I think it should probably be a pet peeve of a lot more people. But I went, I got all my popcorn and stuff, and I sat down, and in the row behind me, there was a bunch of, well, I don't know, I didn't really get a really good look at them, but I'm thinking they were like, you know, junior high school girls, maybe senior high school girls, whichever, doesn't really matter. But they had that unfortunate habit at this particular film where they seemed to think that they were going to sit there and talk to each other through the whole movie. And that's something that I don't really, I don't put up with that for very long. Usually, you can talk through the trailers, that's not a big deal. Talk through the ads, literally all you want. It's fucking absurd the amount of ads that they're making you sit through, to go see a movie that you've just paid $14 or whatever the hell you paid to go see it. And then you have to sit there through like 20 minutes of ads. Like, I don't know, I've never put a timer on it, but sometimes it feels like they're going into like the 20-minute mark with the amount of ads that they show you. So talk through that all you want. I don't care. Talk through the trailers. I'm not such a big fan of that, but that's just the trailer. It's not the movie. It's not what you came to see. So for me, it's part of what I came to see, but it's probably not what you came to see. It's not what everybody came to see. So fine, talk through that all you want. I don't care. But when the movie starts, shut up. Because now we're into the part that everybody has paid to see. Everybody came to see this, and we all paid to see this. And sometimes it is frequently very difficult to focus on what you're actually seeing on the screen if you have some retard sitting behind you. Oh, no. Don't have a conversation in the movie theater. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to ask you to hold it until after the movie. And then if you don't, I'm going to turn around a little bit more forcefully and say, hey, listen, we're here to see a movie. Would you kindly let us watch the movie? And then if I have to ask a third time, I'm not planning to ask a fourth. That's when I'm going to turn around and I'm going to be pretty blunt with it. I'm going to say, hey, shut the fuck up. And when I tell you to shut the fuck up, I do want you to understand that, it is entirely possible that I might come back there and make you shut the fuck up. Now, obviously, I wasn't going to do that with a bunch of high school girls, senior high school girls. We're into a different sort of territory there, so obviously that's a no-go. But we went through this whole thing with them. I turned around once, it's like, hey, excuse me, you're trying to watch a movie. They're quiet for a little while, and then they start talking a little bit more, and I turn around, hey, excuse me, could you save your conversation until after the movie? I'm trying to watch a movie here. Thank you. So they were quiet a little bit longer. And then the third time, I turned around and I told them, shut the fuck up. And then they were quiet for a little while, and this usually doesn't even get to a third ask with most people. And usually with people that it gets to the third ask, after the third ask, they tend to shut the fuck up and stay shut the fuck up. But not these ones in particular. So I got really pissed off, and I picked up my stuff. And I kind of thought to myself, maybe I should go and, I don't know, should I go and talk to the theater management and get them to intervene here? But then I actually stopped to think about it. on my way about halfway up the aisle, and that's when I kind of stopped and thought to myself, well, you know what? They're excited about this because they're seeing stuff on screen in a book that they read. In a book that, depending on who you ask, theoretically was written for them. Maybe this is more of a movie that was made for them, more so than made for me. You know what? It's annoying. It's irritating. I think that they're being inconsiderate. But I know that feeling. I do know that feeling. And I didn't really take it upon myself as an opportunity to ruin that for, anybody else in the same theater, by sitting there and talking and gabbing the whole time. It's like, I understand that feeling. And so I kind of thought better of it, and I just went and I sat down and I just kind of sat through the rest of the movie. And actually, in all honesty, for as much crap as the film is getting, because people do not like Rachel Zegler for reasons that, she herself is the author of, this new Hunger Games movie is actually pretty decent. It's not as good as the first 3 or 4. I don't know if you count that third one as 2 movies rather than, one movie in 2 parts. But it's actually a pretty good movie. It's worth seeing. It's worth being excited about. If you're a teenage girl and you were a fan of that book series, it's exciting. This movie is, in my opinion, worth being excited about. And for her own part, for what she does on screen, I actually thought that Rachel Zegler was pretty decent. But we're getting away from the point here. Is that, maybe I didn't really need to get as angry about that as I did for the short period of time that I did, because you know what? It's their thing. Maybe this was a time to let them have their fun. I wouldn't put up with it all of the time, but maybe this was one time that I should have.